You know what, America? We need to talk. We need to talk. Now, I seen this video on World Star. I'm just going to go ahead and play it and comment on it.
Well, he's not going to be removed. He's not going to be removed. He's not going to be removed.
You feel confident in that?
My Magnum is comfortable with that. End of story.
They remove him in the Senate. Mm-hmm. I think it could cause physical violence in the country that we haven't seen since the first Civil War. I think it'll become the second Civil War.
I would think that there would be a strong movement.
Sorry. Not World War, Civil War.
Negative. Possible violence. Not that I'm condoning violence. There'll be a lot of bad Americans. Possibly 70 million Americans on the loose, not very happy. What we're seeing is a divided country. Both sides are dug in.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. This song, World Star Hip Hop. So, Civil War, not World War, but actually, if you impeach the president, there's so many repercussions that can come from that. It will span the whole globe. Trust and believe. Because President Trump is one of those people who actually believes in violence. You can say what you want, but he's been talking about violence since before he was even inducted into, to the Oval Office. He was talking about nukes. So let's get this straight. This is not President Trump did not do what the last president did, what Obama did. What Obama did was he went and told everybody who has nuclear weapons to, hey, let's just calm down with the nuclear weapons. Well, our now President Trump went and was just like, before, like I said, before he was even in his first term, he was like, do we have nuclear weapons? And they were just like, yeah. He was like, then why aren't we using them? So this is a man who believes in violence, and now you're talking about impeaching him. And if you impeach him for all the many things that are, they're like, what did he do? What mistake did he do? Just calling countries crap hole countries because they're poor, and they're poor because of the Europeans pretty much robbing them and taking their land, then taking their children and doing whatever with them. I mean, they're still doing that today. They haven't given those people back their land, and you're going to call them a crap hole country where you pretty much have a tariff stranglehold on them, a financial stranglehold where they can't even get on their feet, other than vacation being a vacation resort. And we know that doesn't stabilize a whole country. We know this, but yet the European just keeps doing what they're doing, and they wonder why other people are in their position and why they hate them so much. So there's that. But nonetheless, you have these people who were talking about a civil war, and so I mistitled it, but nonetheless, it will affect the whole world. But you're talking about a civil war. Let me tell you something. For one, as a black man, there's only 40 million of us, and these guys are talking 70, 80 million people. Listen, there are there's 245 million of them, Caucasian. Let's be honest. If they're talking about going to civil war, they're going to target every black person in the country, regardless if they like Trump or not. It's going to be like, the red coats and the blue coats, except it'll be the white people and the black people. And no matter how many, white women you date, and, how much country music you listen to, you're still going to be a target to somebody who doesn't know you if you are black. It's not going to be like, hey, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? I got a white wife, and they don't care. The people who don't know you, they will target you because they will figure that you are the enemy. That is what will happen. And like I said, there's only 40 million of us, and there's 245 million of them. So this is not a battle that we would win on any scale. whatsoever. And I wouldn't think winning by slaughtering each other wouldn't be what I would consider winning, even if only 70 or 80 million of them rose up angry and decided to start knocking people off, in which some of they've already been doing since Trump has been in office. We've seen the police and the violence of the police and what they've done to people, white, black, Hispanic, whatever, but especially black. We've seen them just carte blanche, just go up and just gun people down. We've seen this. We had an example of that during the the highway pursuit, where they knocked off 4 people who had nothing to do with anything, and they knocked off the hostage, which is something you just don't see. You usually see police handle things a lot different, but now it's all gun-ho. I'm not going back into that story. But nonetheless, so, I'm not someone who runs around talking about arming yourself. This is just not my MO. Even though, crime is up, people are robbing people left and right. Somebody is going to test you. The knockout game that these kids are playing, these people are doing violence to people just to have fun. And of course, the police, and then you have just people who are thinking they're the police, thinking they can just walk up and start harassing people. We've seen this over and over and over again, where they won't even let you into your front door unless you give them some ID, as if there's some type of authority. And you don't even have to do that to the police. And we've seen the police do this. Show me your ID before you go into your house. Like, get out of here. And then they come and raid your whole home and then say, oh, it's my bad. And then you sue the police department, but it doesn't hurt the actual people who came and pretty much shot up your whole house and, killed your family. We don't see them going through pretty much too much of anything. So America is already in a state of flux and violence. And listen, don't impeach Donald Trump. Don't do it. I know nobody's going to hear me. There's one person listening, and I appreciate you, whoever you are, the one person, probably the government. But nonetheless, whoever does listen to this, some of you are going to be like, he did this, he did that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. This is already an unstable America. What I care about is stability and peace. We are not at peace. Black men, women, and children live in fear every day when they go out and drive along the highways, which they should be free to travel. And there are many other, there are many other situations where we know our life is at risk just by living and breathing every day, just walking around. We know that, our life is at risk. We just seen a woman went to a hospital and she is pregnant, and black woman, and the police held her down along with some nurses and then shot some type of whatever into her system. And she kept saying, I do not want this medicine. You're trying to say that I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. You're trying to put me in a psych ward. And the police are like, well, you're going to get this shot. The doctor says you need it. And the doctor did not say that she needed that shot, but they gave it to her anyway. We understand that these hospitals, and with the whole flu shots and all this, people who are refusing these flu shots, you're not even allowed to, work at certain places like hospitals and stuff like that if you don't take these flu shots. Your child is not allowed in daycare if you don't take the flu shot. And it may seem all well and good. You're just like, yeah, your child gets sick, our child gets sick, so on and so forth. But that should not be how it works, because if your child takes the flu shot and they're now, immune to the flu shot, or immune to the flu, they actually give you the flu so you can fight the flu. Just try to sink that in, give you the flu so you can fight the flu. So if somebody has the flu and your child gets the flu, they should be able to fight it, but that's not what the rationale is. So we understand that the government is in very much control of what's going on. Now, I said all that to say this. If Donald Trump gets impeached, and I did not follow and I will not follow the impeachment, and I don't think he will, but if Donald Trump gets impeached, you will be looking at a civil war that breaks out. Now, here's the thing. You already have family against family right now on Donald Trump. I mean, there's a bunch of people who say he shouldn't have been president. He actually did not win the presidency. It was pretty much given to him because he didn't win the popular vote. He won the vote of the delegates and super delegates, and then the 28 people who run the I don't know what that section is, but they pretty much say who's going to be president or not. We've seen this over and over. The people do not have power, and this is one thing that is really messing with the people's mind. We do not have the power to say who's going to run the country. Why? Because we are not free. This is supposed to be the land of the free, but we got more people in jail than any other country. This is clearly not the land of the free. It is clearly not. You are governed every day, everything you do. Even down to your personal computer, they, Google and, Apple and all these people, they govern what you see. They govern how much of it you see. You think they don't, but they do. They do. They take your pictures and they have all this information on you. I remember uploading videos, and as soon as I uploaded it, the video was gone. When I uploaded it to my iCloud, I don't put nothing on iCloud anymore because all my videos and stuff, they're all gone. They took them all. Especially if it was, just certain stuff that they just snatch. It's just like, what are you doing? This is my personal stuff. No, it is no. You no longer have a personal computer. They snatch it all. So they take all of your stuff. They listen to all the stuff you say. Snowden was correct. He built the system that is working against us. But nonetheless, if you impeach Donald Trump, the violence in the street is going to overwhelm the poor people. Now we know that the rich people can go and hide. When I say rich, I don't mean middle class. I mean the people who can afford safe places and safe houses or whatever the hell that they call it. They call it. They can go and bunker themselves in. They have the ammunition, food, and all that stuff. But then the poor people are left outside, just like if some disaster happened. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I think is going to happen if Donald Trump gets impeached. For one, the second in command is, like, I don't know much about him because I don't really care. I don't give a rat's ass about either one of them, because I wouldn't vote for either one of them. But Pence doesn't even like Trump. Okay. Do I think Pence is a better choice? Just by design? Yeah, I think Pence is a better choice. Why? Because he isn't grabbing women by the, crotch. He doesn't have that reputation. He doesn't have that reputation of calling whole countries, crap holes. He doesn't. His wife is not half naked on, all over the internet. It's just, there's just nothing about Trump that I would say, yeah, Donald Trump and whatever the hell his wife is, who pretty much copied her speech off of, off of Michelle Obama. I feel absolutely nothing for these people whatsoever, not at all. However, I do not want him to be impeached. To me, you're just going to get the same. If you want to change my mind, put Michelle Obama in office. They hated the Obamas, and all the mistakes they said he made with Medicare and, and all that other stuff, even though he implemented something that was designed by Reagan. Obamacare was not, Obamacare did not come from President Obama. It was already created a long time ago. He just implemented so he can drop the deficit. He was pretty much trying to save America money because we owe trillions of dollars to the Asians, just like everybody else. But nonetheless, he was trying to get us out of debt. That's what that was all about. But I just think that the violence will be overwhelming. We're already being targeted. I'm just speaking as a black man. I'm just speaking of the racism, the uptick in the racism that I've experienced. And, I'm not getting any younger, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say I'm slower, not so eager to deal with people's ignorance and disrespect. I have a temperament that comes with age and pain that you suffer every day. And I have no interest in dealing with some crazy, Caucasoid who feels entitled, or that I should be a slave, or that I should bow my head when I'm around them, or, they should go first. Look, I don't have the energy for none of that. I don't. And I've already, I've had people call me racial slurs. And the last guy that did that, he found himself in a very bad position in front of his girlfriend. So I'm not the one. But what I'm not trying to do is go to war. I'm not. I have no patience for ignorance from anybody, but I am not ready to go to war. Listen, I've been a soldier before, in the US Army, I did my time. I've been a soldier on the streets of Pennsylvania and here. Okay. I know what it's like. All right. I'm not trying to see that. So I don't know, Nancy Pelosi, whatever hard on you got for Trump, y'all need to listen to the poor people, because you're not going to hurt the super rich. You're going to hurt the poor. That's who you're going to hurt. And there's going to be a lot of dead bodies. There's going to be a lot of crime, a lot of looting. There's going to be a lot of hanging. There's going to be a lot of shooting. You're going to have civil unrest, and it's not going to be quelled by the U.S. Army. You're going to call in the National Reserve. Well, guess what? Those are people too. It's not like they're mechanical. They're going to have their say. They'll be under orders, but listen, there's going to be a time to break ranks. I'm just telling you, as somebody who used to be in the service, there's some orders you just ain't going to take. I'm letting you know right now. Is if you don't want slaughter on your hands, if you don't want the highways, strewn with dead bodies, if you don't want a curfew at freaking 6 o'clock, if you don't want the economic system to just come to a screeching halt, I'm just saying the worst can happen. I'm not saying it will. Because if he gets impeached and none of it happens, I'm not going to be looking like a fool. I'm just telling you the potential of the things that can happen. And it can happen right now. And then you got 12 different militias that are here in the United States, not far from my house, actually, right up there in Michigan. Heck, that's only a couple hours from me. You better believe they're ready to go to war too. We already have an example of that in Denver. Okay, that one guy pretty much threw his whole life away. And the Fed boys had to gun him down. I'm just saying, what's the word? I mean, how much worse is it going to be? How much worse is it going to be if Donald Trump finishes out the end of his term and you don't vote him back in? Now, here's the thing. If you're not going... Here's the thing. If you crazies say, okay, we're going to let him finish out his term and that's it, and then you let him run for president again, you already know he's going to win. He's going to win. Okay? Even if he doesn't win by popular vote. If he gets up there and on that, he has the money to run. It's just let's just drink this in. If you let him run, he's going to win. Then you're going to be looking at the same plight, the same situation that you're in now. It's just I don't even work in politics anymore. I used to work in politics, by the way. I worked for the Ohio House of Representatives as a legislative aide for 4 different reps. I don't know, but that's not what I'm talking. Are you the troops for 6? He can only send troops for 60 days. Okay, so I'm not talking about the president declaring war. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the citizens declaring war. There's a big difference. There's a huge, huge difference. And the citizens are already saying that they are going to declare a civil war. They're already reaching for their weapons. That's what I'm saying. It's not the president calling for war. Who's he going to fight with? I mean, they're already over in pretty much every country there is, taking their oil and everything, you know, in the name of some religion. No, I'm talking about the citizens cannibalizing their own country. That's what I'm talking about. And their first aim is going to be at black people. We've already been through this. We've seen what happened in the Civil War. And we know it was all about the economical system. We know that the president during that time did not free the slaves because he had love for us. It was the economic system that is the reason why he freed the slaves. But we've seen still what happened after that, all the way up until the last person you heard hung. Listen, the last popular hanging was Sandra Bland, but there was plenty of hangings after that. And that wasn't too long ago. Heck, there was a hanging last year. A hanging over the Michael Brown case. The woman, the Black Lives Matter woman, her son got hung in their yard. Her 21-year-old son. They took him and hung him in her yard. So this is, listen, this is far from over. But if they impeach him, you're going to see a lot of strange fruit hanging from trees. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm just telling you. There's and we've seen the National Guard come in and you know what they did in Alabama, but we still saw the results of that. I'm just saying it's going to be a lot worse before it gets a lot better if you impeach him. That's it. And I don't want to go out here toting an M16 or an AR, whatever, wherever I go. I don't want that noise. I don't want that. I don't want that in my life. I already live in fear of the police every day, but let alone of the. I mean, I can walk past white people and have no fear of them. But you do this, you impeach him, that's going to all go out the window. I will be shopping for bread and cheese with the AR-15. And so will everyone else. If they're smart. I mean, you'll see the sales of guns go through the roof. And eventually, what will probably happen is the government will step in and then try to take those guns away. And then, of course, you have the whole Charlton Heston and the Second Amendment or whatever that is, the right to carry guns, which we've already seen black people, when they come in contact with the police are already shooting black people just because they have a gun. Their only excuse is he had a gun. Did he shoot it? Did he shoot at you? No. Did he point it at you? No. Did he have it in his hand? No. But he had one. Philando Castillo, case in point. We've seen people running from the cops, and just because they had a gun, the cops blew them away. He had a gun. Was he pointing at you? No. He was running away from you. He's trying to get away from you. Did he have a license for the weapon? Yes. He's allowed to have a gun. But, you can't be black and have a gun in America because the police will shoot you just because you have a gun and go on vacation. We've seen this. Now, we've seen some police not do this. We've seen some police handle this very well, very professionally. Do you have a weapon? Yes. Or somebody say, I'm armed, and then the police go, I saw a black guy who was stopped on a highway by a black cop, and the black cop, and he asked why he was stopped, and the black cop said, somebody said this about you, and he was just like, I'm not showing you my license because of that. And then he said, okay, well, let me go back to the car, and he ran his tag. And on his way back, the black man said, I'm armed, by the way. And the cop said, okay. in the story. It wasn't, oh my God, you have a gun, let's go shoot this guy. You know. And we've seen some other cases where that happens. But it's the very unprofessional and the killers who go out and just gun people down just because they have the right to defend themselves. You know. So that's all I'm saying. You know, if you impeach Trump, it's going to be a lot harder on me. It's going to be a lot harder on Black people because these people who don't want Trump impeached, they're going to take it out on Black people. That's it and that's all. They're going to take it out on Black families. They're going to think that in their thinking, they're going to think that we're the ones who, you know, tore down Donald Trump. We're the ones. The 40 million of us stepped up and said, we don't want Donald Trump. We want Mike Pence. That's what happened. We stood up, you know, and Mike Pence, no, we don't. We know that we can't control that. We knew that when, during the Bush administration, and all of a sudden Bush became president. It's just like, what? You won 2 terms? And then now we're at war again. It just has nothing to do with the people. And it'll be the Civil War all over again because white people fought against white people. Brother fought against brother, literally. And you had a lot of colored troops, of course, who have been fighting for America, with America. Were among those ranks. They weren't just slaves running around stupid. They were armed. They were civilized, cultured, very smart. The first president was a Black man. Okay? The first president was not George freaking Wooden Tooth Washington. He was not the first president. He was the first president of the United under the Constitution, but he was not the first president here in America. He wasn't. So they don't celebrate that. They don't do that. They don't want to say a Black man was the first president. They don't want to. There's no picture. There's no picture of him. You got all these 44, 45 presidents, but you don't have the very first one who was a Black man. They don't want to do that. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Yeah. I think it's a mistake to impeach him. And MD, I don't think the president. Here's what he'll do is he'll release the National Guard. There'll be a curfew, but you're still going to have a lot of bad that's going to go down, and I don't want to be out here violent in the street. I don't want to do none of that. I'm not looking forward to none of that. Streets are all jammed up. Can't drive anywhere. Bottle of water is going to go out. It's going to be $20 for a bottle. I mean, it's just ridiculous that we pay for water anyway. You can't turn on your spigot and drink the water because it doesn't mess with your body. Not unless it's coming from some stream in the mountains, or actually coming from the best water I ever had came from a well. Oh my God, that water was so good. But nonetheless, the poor people are going to suffer. When you can't get supplies en route, those truck routes, when you can't get those food supplies in, you're going to be out here hunting squirrel and rabbits. And I've done that before. I don't have the speed anymore to hunt squirrel and rabbits with a bow and arrow, but that's what's going to happen. Your gas is going to be turned off, everything. Look, I can survive, but it's not going to be comfortable. It's not something I'm going to be wanting to do. And I definitely don't want to be out here toting a weapon, worrying about somebody if a group of, people are gonna run up on me and try to put me on one of these trees, because I'm a tall black man, I'm not a small person. So one of you ain't gonna do it. But it's just not something we already have that going on. We already got where, that's happened and they took the man's land. I think that happened in Florida. Guy owned some property. They wanted his property. They took him and hung him, and then they took his property. This actually does happen. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be toting a weapon. I don't want that noise. I don't want that violence. And I don't want nobody coming at me on some old stupid call me the N-word just to see my reaction. And then when I do react, they acted in self-defense. Well, we saw that last year. You know what I'm saying? We saw the guy in the parking lot. His woman was parked in the handicapped parking space. So she's there waiting on the husband and her child. And the white dude comes around. It's like you're parked in a handicap. Gets to arguing with her. The husband sees this. Walks outside and confronts the guy. And then he pushes the older dude down. Dude reaches into his pocket, whips out the jammy, shoots him right in the heart. Or in the chest somewhere. Shot him one time. Boom. Killed him. Then said, you know what? Self-defense. However, the black guy was walking away from him. He pushed him down, fine. Then he was walking away. And if you're walking away, you are no longer a threat to that individual. And he shoots you and kills you. That is not self-defense. That is 100% murder. So I hope that guy, burns in jail. I hope he never sees the light of day. Heck, I hope they kill him. I hope they put him on I hope they give him the death penalty. Because he did it on purpose. You can't fight that don't approach somebody's woman. But to shoot the man, it's not like he came out and it's not like there was a bunch of them. It's not like him and his little 6-year-old jumped on you. And that's not even, you can't fight that don't start no noise. But he shot and killed that black man. So I hope they hang him. Put him in jail for the rest of his life. No, don't even do that. Just get rid of him. Murder begets murder. That's the way I feel about it. So, yeah. I'm just saying, if you're going out and you're doing stuff like that on purpose, then you should get what that's what you want to do, fine. Then that's what you're going to receive. Regardless of what you do for a living. And I don't want to hear this, do you forgive them? No, I don't forgive you. I think you should get your head blown off just like you blew somebody else's head blown off. I don't care what you do for a living. If that's what you do, I don't think you should be able to hide from that. Go to some jury. Oh, hung jury. So we can't prosecute these guys. Bull crap. The angels are going to prosecute you. They're going to toss you into a devil's hell. And I don't feel not one way about it. Good riddance. But I'm not trying to see civil war. That's my whole point. Peace.